Holy shit, listeners. You guys won't believe this fucking shit.
What now?
Nippon Steel, those sneaky samurai, are trying to buy up U.S. steel.
No shit, really?
Yeah. You know, the goddamn company that built America, we're talking skyscrapers, tanks, the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
This Wikipedia article lays it all out.
Does it?
And let me tell you, it's a fucking mess.
Oh, yeah.
Is this a sweet deal or a total sellout? Let's cut the crap and dive in.
Yeah.
So U.S. Steel.
Yeah. U.S.
You're the original badass corporation.
Right.
First billion-dollar company, a Dow Jones golden boy.
Totally.
And now...
Now they're falling apart, got kicked off the Dow.
Jeez.
And now you got all these vultures circled.
Like who are we talking about?
Cleveland Cliffs.
Yeah.
Nucor.
Right.
Even this small-time player, Esmark, wants a piece of the action.
So it's a total bidding war.
It's like a pack of hyenas fighting over a carcass.
And get this, the United Steelworkers Union.
The USW.
Yeah, USW. They were backing Cleveland Cliffs at first. They thought they were the best option.
Oh, really?
But
then Nippon swoops in.
dude, with a ridiculously huge offer.
Huge. How much are we talking?
$14.9 billion.
Fuck, a 40% premium.
Jesus.
They're promising everything, keeping the HQ in Pittsburgh, honoring union deals, the whole shebang.
Sounds too good to be true.
Right. Are they just blowing smoke up our asses?
Oh, it's the big question, isn't it? Talk is cheap, as they say.
Yeah.
Plus, this whole thing set off a political shitstorm.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Biden's all over it, saying it needs serious scrutiny. Senators from both sides are losing their minds. Even Trump's chiming in with his usual bullshit.
Yeah, it's a clusterfuck. National security concerns, supply chain worries, and those damn auto industry lobbyists whining about steel prices. Like, everyone's trying to get their piece of the pie.
Exactly.
And then Biden throws a wrench in the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. What'd he do? He basically said, nope, U.S. Steel needs to stay American-owned. Which, funnily enough, is exactly what Trump said he'd do, too.
So much for those two disagreeing on anything.
So is Biden just playing politics, or is there more to it?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. Biden's move could trigger a CFI-US investigation.
What's that?
That's the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. They can block deals that threaten national security.
Oh, wow.
We might also see the Department of Justice launching an antitrust probe.
Seriously?
Could delay or even kill the deal.
Damn. Nippon's got to be shitting their pants right now.
I bet.
So while those asshats are sweating it out, what are the Japanese actually saying about all this chaos?
They're being super careful, basically saying, hey, this is between private companies, not our problem.
Yeah.
But they're also hoping for positive outcomes.
Which sounds like code for, please don't fuck this up. Like they're just going to sit back and watch their billions go down the drain. So, of course, no corporate brawl would be complete without a bunch of sleazy lobbyists, right?
Of course not.
Nippon and U.S. Steel have hired the best.
Or worse, depending on how you look at it.
To try and smooth things over.
Makes sense.
They even got a fancy website and op-eds singing their praises. Is any of it legit, or is it just PR bullshit?
Honestly, it's hard to tell. They're definitely trying to spin the narrative, make themselves look good.
Spin doctors the whole 9 yards.
But you know what they say? Actions speak louder than words. Let's see if they can actually address the concerns people have, instead of just throwing money at the problem.
Right.
Speaking of pissed off people, the unions are raising hell now.
Oh, yeah.
The USW, who initially were cool with Cliffs, are now saying this deal is a complete disaster.
What the hell happened there?
Well, they want a new labor deal in place before any sale goes through. They're worried about their jobs, their benefits, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Makes sense.
And honestly, who can blame them? Their livelihoods are on the line here.
Yeah. It's like a goddamn free-for-all with everyone trying to grab what they can. We even got think tanks going at it.
Okay.
The Heritage Foundation is saying the deal is good for the economy, while the Cato Institute is calling bullshit on this obsession with foreign companies. Then you got the Council on Foreign Relations worried about how this will affect our relationships with our allies. It's a fucking mess.
It's interesting, you know, this deal really highlights the deep divisions in how we view globalization and economic nationalism.
Really?
Yeah. On one hand, you've got people who believe in free markets and foreign investment. On the other, you've got people who prioritize national security and American jobs. It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
So is this deal going down in flames, or can Nippon pull off some miracle and save the day?
It's a total crapshoot at this point. So many factors at play. The DOJ,
Right.
CFI-US, potential conditions Biden might impose.
Oh, yeah.
And let's not forget about the union's backlash.
No, definitely not.
It's a goddamn circus, man. Predicting the outcome is like trying to read tea leaves.
At the bottom of a beer bottle.
Exactly. Maybe Nippon could sweeten the deal even more, throw some extra cash around.
Right.
But that could just create a whole other set of problems.
Totally. This whole thing is bigger than just steel, though, right?
What do you mean?
It's about America's place in the world. Who's calling the shots?
I see what you're saying.
Are we still the top dog? Or are we just pushovers letting these foreign companies buy up everything in sight?
That's the underlying tension here for sure. You got those economic interests clashing with national security concerns.
Right.
And then you throw good old-fashioned patriotism into the mix.
It's a goddamn mess. Nobody knows how this is going to end.
Nobody.
And in the middle of all this chaos,
Yeah.
you got the workers.
Right. The worker.
Their jobs, their livelihoods, their entire fucking futures are hanging in the balance.
Totally.
That human cost gets lost in all the corporate bullshit and political maneuvering.
Absolutely. The union's stance is crucial here. They're the ones who will feel the impact of this deal the most, for better or for worse.
Right.
They need a seat at the goddamn table. Their voices need to be heard.
But it seems like everyone's got their own agenda. The politicians, the corporations, the lobbyists, those goddamn think tanks.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is actually looking out for the average Joe in all of this?
That's the cynical truth, isn't it? Lots of posturing, lots of self-interest, lots of people trying to line their own pockets.
It's easy to forget about the big picture when there's so much money and power up for grabs.
Too easy.
Okay, so let's play devil's advocate for a minute.
All right.
What if this deal actually turns out to be a good thing for U.S. steel?
Okay.
What if Nippon injects some cash, modernizes their operations, and makes them competitive again?
It's not impossible. Nippon's got a decent track record, and they've made some tempting promises.
They have.
But as they say, the devil's in the details. We need to see some concrete action, not just empty words and PR bullshit.
Right. But even if it works out for U.S. steel, doesn't it set a dangerous precedent?
What do you mean?
Does it mean America's open for business, even if it means selling off our most iconic companies?
The slippery slope argument. That's a valid concern. Where do we draw the line? What industries are off limits to foreign ownership? Which ones are fair game? Tough questions, no easy answers.
And let's not forget about the global implications.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about steel, which is essential for everything from infrastructure to defense. This deal could have ripple effects far beyond our borders.
It's a geopolitical chess match. The stakes are high as hell.
For real.
China's watching, Europe's watching, everyone's watching to see how this plays out. This could set a new standard for how foreign investment is viewed, not just in the U.S., but around the world.
So we got this tangled web of corporate greed, political maneuvering, national pride, and global power dynamics.
That's one way to put it.
It's enough to make your head spin. What the fuck happens next?
That's the million-dollar question. I wish I had a crystal ball. But one thing's for sure.
What the?
This story is far from over. We're in for a wild ride, and the outcome is anyone's guess.
All right, listeners, you heard it here first. This U.S. steel deal is a total shit show, and we're just along for the ride. We're going to take a quick break, grab another beer, and then we'll be back to unpack the final chapter of this steel saga. Don't touch that dial. All right, listeners, we're back, ready to finish dissecting this U.S. steel shitstorm. So where were we? Oh yeah, trying to figure out if America's getting screwed or if this deal might actually be a good thing.
It's a tough call. This whole thing raises some serious questions about the future of American industry.
Like what?
I mean, if a giant like U.S. Steel can get gobbled up by a foreign company, what's next? Are we just going to become a nation of landlords renting out our companies to the highest bidder?
Damn. That's a scary thought. It's like watching a bald eagle getting its ass kicked by a goddamn panda. And the worst part is, nobody seems to have a fucking plan.
There's a real lack of strategic thinking from the government and those corporate suits.
So what do we do?
We need to figure out what industries are vital to our national interest
Yeah.
and how the hell they're going to protect them in this cutthroat global economy.
Well, we can't just build walls and shut everyone out, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to solve anything.
No, we need to be smarter, more strategic, figure out how to compete on a global scale without getting our asses handed to us.
So how do we do that?
We need to invest in innovation, research and development, workforce training, all the shit that'll make us more competitive in the long run. We can't just rely on past glories and nostalgia to keep us afloat.
But let's be real, this is America we're talking about.
Right.
We're not exactly known for our patience or long-term planning. We want results, And we want them now, damn it.
That's the challenge, isn't it? Balancing those short-term pressures with long-term goals. And it's even harder when we're so politically divided. It's like we can't even agree on what the goddamn problem is, let alone how to fix it.
So are we screwed? Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily. We still have a lot going for us. A talented workforce, a dynamic economy, and a spirit of innovation that those other countries can only dream of. But we need to get our shit together, and we need to do it fast.
Okay, so what's the takeaway for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as this whole U.S. Steel saga unfolds?
Stay informed. Stay engaged. Ask the tough questions. Don't just swallow the easy answers.
Right.
Or the partisan bullshit that gets spewed out by those talking heads. Think critically. Challenge assumptions. And demand better from our leaders.
Well said. And on that note, I think we're going to wrap this up. It's been a wild ride, folks, and it ain't over yet. This whole U.S. Steel deal, it's a microcosm of the challenges we face as a nation, and it's a wake-up call for all of us.
It's a reminder that the world is changing, and we need to adapt or get left behind. The choices we make today, they'll shape the future of our economy, our security, our place in the world. So let's make some goddamn good choices.
Damn straight. All right, folks, that's it for this episode of The Deep Dive. Stay tuned, stay informed, and don't let those corporate bastards and political clowns walk all over you. Peace out.